Midsummer is only 2 days hence. I don't see how you can possibly be ready, Brother Jethro.
Fear not, old friend. Formall assures me that the stage will be ready this evening, and I've never known him to be wrong. Everything will be quite all right.
Cutting things close doesn't suit me. You know that. I'm a planner. I'm a philosopher. This whole business has my humors out of balance.
There, Brother Wilport. You just let me fret about the play, and you make sure the feast is perfect. I'm especially looking forward to that hot root sun salad.
Oh, yes, quite right. There's much to be prepared. Friar Randall was concerned that the cheese and onion hogsbake was too heavy to follow the brazier leaks. He may be correct.
You see, there's far more need for your talents in the kitchen than out here. Let your old friend do what he's good at, making a fool of himself. Oh, my.
Very well, I'll take my leave. But please try to keep on schedule. You know how I worry.
Indeed I do. Sister Edelweiss, I trust William won't perish before he has a chance to taste the good friar's blackberry crumble.
Oi, now. It's hard to say. 'Tis surely a bit of Blackwater fever. Now I can't remedy with some nettles and wort, but that foul temper, no, that just might be fatal.
I'm not grumpy.
No? Boy, Yoki, then why in the sharp tongue when I asked for that filthy old wing glass? The rusty old thing is reeking with mould and mire. It's likely the cause of your fever for all the fuss it's bearing.
Sorry, Grandfather. I found it in the library.
You're nayo. You drinkers as tonic, and you'll be out storming that forest with all them's dibbins afore a moon's turned her face this way. Brrroi.
We're ready for Hilltop Camp, Brother Jethro. Shall we wait for you?
No need to wait, lads. Carry on, and I'll be there shortly. Thank you for your legendary healing skills, sister. As always, we are in your debt.
We? I say it's just you who be's owing moi.
Oh, I haven't seen this in ages, and such perfect timing, dear boy. Do you know who this weight glass belonged to, William?
Honest truth, I just thought it was another trinket you'd packed away for no good reason.
Trinket? Badgerwaffles. This was one of the trusty tools carried by the Lilygrove Scout Corps back when Clooney the Scourge, that wretched pirate, laid siege to Redwall Abbey. And it so happens that this very thing has a role to play in the story we'll be telling for the Abbot's celebration. I've written a play to share one of my Lost Legends with all of Redwall. Of course, everyone knows about Matthias and Constance and Basil Staghair, but few know about the trio of brave woodlanders from Lilygrove who played a crucial role in those events. Have you ever heard of Liam or Sophia Rivermouse?
No, but, I don't suppose you could be telling me the story, since I'm bedridden and ailing, and might not live to see the play. Please?
Let's see. Where to begin? Yes, initiation. 'Twas a frozen evening in midwinter. The sky was clear but for a loosely bound fleet of easterly clouds that wore the light of twilight and had earlier that day dusted the hollows of the weathered oaks with snow. A frosty breeze stirred the heavy locks of the cypresses' winter needles, and two mice warmed their paws against the January chill. Liam and Sophia were young, ambitious, and betrothed. Both had trained hard to join the ranks of the Lilygrove Scout Corps, a rather storied group of woodland rangers who kept safe the lands betwixt Mossflower country and the mountain warrens. The one had graduated that week prior, and now it was time for the other to prove their mettle. Once initiated, they planned to wed. But that was not to be. Not yet, anyway.
Initiation night. It's finally happening. We've planned so long for this, and now that it's here, I'm not sure I'm ready.
I feel the same way. I haven't the faintest notion of what comes next. It's exciting, isn't it?
Yes, and frightening.
Alas, I am late. I hope you'll pardon me. The fiery ring of devastation needed to be refueled. I trust neither of you caught a shiver. I was sick with the retch for my initiation. Didn't make a bit of difference, though. A scout needs to be ready, no matter the situation. So, which one of you is in the dock this fine winter evening?
That would be me, and I'm not about to retch. What do we do now?
Quite sure, are you? Sophia, I trust you didn't tell our initiate about the adder's eggs.
Not a peep, sir. The secret is safe with me.
It makes me a proud mouse to see youngsters like yourself continuing with the Scout Corps. In order to become a full member of the Lilygrove Scout Corps, you must complete a series of tests to prove you've got the mettle. These are the things you've been training for the last several moons, so I don't expect any surprises.
I'm so excited for you to finally join us as a fully fledged scout, Liam. Oh, and guess what? Coyle's going to let me oversee your trials myself. Captain Robin thought I'd be too biased to be the best judge of your skills, but I assured him I've never gone easy on you before, nor will I start tonight. Now, we'll start by heading to a nearby cave. It's treacherous, but nothing you can't handle. Plus, I'll be there to guide you. You'll do great. I know it. Oh, and before we go, take this. A proper scout's got to have an adventurer's journal.
What are you lollygagging around here for, initiate? Don't you want to be a scout? There's work to be done.
Hold on. I thought you were sticking around to oversee me.
I am, but you've got to complete them on your own. I'll be around to help, even if you can't see me. Here we go. All you've got to do is follow the cave to reach each of your tasks. Ready to start? For your first trial, you've got to figure out how to get across this gap. If I were you, I'd try using my trusty slingshot. Great shot, Liam! Oh, you've always had a knack for the slingshot. Now, continue up ahead for the next trial.
Whew, that wasn't nearly as hard as I thought it would be. I'm not nervous at all.
You've got this, Liam. Your Sophia believes in you. Ready for your next trial? You've got to identify which flag your scent is passing over.
But, Sophia, there's no wind in this cave, is there?
Can't you feel the cool draft, Liam? Or is your fur that much thicker than mine? As you know, scent travels on the wind, and wind is just about everywhere, even in these caves. If you pay close attention, you'll be able to sense the wind's motion all around you, almost as if you can see it. Watch the direction the wind is carrying your scent, and you'll never be caught unaware by your enemies. But ignore it, and anyone might come tracking you. That's it! Good pick! While out in the wild, be sure to watch where your scent is being carried. Making sure your scent doesn't drift into the nose of a foe could be the difference between life or death. Now, shimmying across that ledge should help you cross this ravine. But you didn't hear that from me. For this next task, you'll need to determine which of the doors have a rat hidden behind them. A fake rat, that is, and avoid them. Only one of the doors is free of any intruder. That's the one you've got to pick.
Find the rat, huh? Shouldn't be too difficult. Just got to use my sniffer. Aha! No rat hiding here.
Fantastic job, Liam. I'm glad I haven't lost you to the rats yet. Here we'll be making use of our nose once again. First, I want you to focus on those peppers there. Learn the scent and commit it to memory. Spicy with a hint of earth, altogether a fair bit pungent. I'd suggest logging all the scents you learn in your scout journal. Never know when you may need to sniff out the difference between a mole and a mushroom. Well done! Hold that scent in your mind and remember, it's written in your journal if you need a refresher. Now, we know sniffing can help us see the unseen, but it can also help us identify different scents in the air. So, pick out the candle that smells like chili peppers. A perfect match, Liam. Robin might as well let us skip the rest of the trials. You're an expert already.
Well, I owe my success to my instructor, Miss Sophia.
You'll need to once again shimmy along the wall to reach the final trial. But be careful. This one's got a twist.
Choose wisely? What's this about, Soph?
Your final trial is a trial of stealth. You've got to use everything you've learned so far. Don't let the rats inside see or smell you. Luckily, us mice are quite small and vermin quite dull, so you should be able to sneak through no problem.
So all I have to do is get by the rats without them spotting me, and then I'll finally be a scout?
Yes, Liam. You'll be an official protector of Lilygrove.
Choose wisely? What? What's all this?
Congratulations, Liam, our newest member of the Lilygrove Scout Corps.
So, I passed?
And with flying colours.
Excellent work, Initiate. Excellent work. I'm quite certain I couldn't have done any better myself. If I were carrying a sack full of dibbons.
Congratulations, Initiate.
I must confess that I was of the mind that you weren't quite ready. It was Captain Robin who pushed for your somewhat expedited initiation. It would appear he saw something in you that I failed to. Until this evening, that is.
Ever since you were Dibbon, Liam, I thought you'd make an excellent scout. And you've never proven me wrong.
Thank you, sir. It's an honor.
Having completed your training, the official badge and equipment of office are yours to bear. A weigh glass, a rucksack, and, of course, the blooming lily on your jacket. It brings me great joy and a fair bit of pride to welcome you to the ancient family of the Lilygrove Scout Corps.
There's just one more thing you have to do before you can really call yourself a scout. Follow me, Liam. Finally, you'll get to see Hilltop Camp and meet our very own scout chef, Rootsworth. He'll help you with the soup.
Soup? What soup?
The Scouts are founded on principles of service and fellowship. As such, we crown each new initiate with cooking the Scout supper their first night here.
Well, after cooking for a family as big as mine, this'll be easy.
Liam was oddly at peace. His soul, which had been sore anxious only hours before, was calm, and his animus at rest. Yet despite a still and restful heart, a frigid wind slowly began to pick up from the south, and the crickets stopped their song. Unknown to any in Lilygrove, a black-masted ship made landfall in secret. The shadow of a long and iron-barbed tail crept up upon the unsuspecting village.
Welcome to Hilltop Camp, home of the Lilygrove Scouts.
Wow. Your descriptions didn't give this place proper credit.
Why don't you pull out your weigh glass and I'll give you the royal tour? Those tents are where the captains sleep. Since they're in charge of keeping the night fires and beacons roaring, they've pitched their stakes by the firewood store. Coil snores like a badger lord, though. I don't know how Robert gets even a wink of sleep. Those are the Scouts' overnight tents. We don't always stay in them, but they are surprisingly cozy when we do. That there is the Lakeside Watchtower. It gives you a great view of the camp, but not much else. The actual night watch I've mentioned is at the lookout, but that's, closed for construction tonight. Yeah, so, don't go investigating or anything. Isn't that waterfall beautiful? You wouldn't guess when it's frozen over, but just up at its source is a hot spring. It's my favourite place at camp to dip my feet, especially after a fierce day of training. Down there is our remarkably talented chef, Rootsworth. Honestly, he could be running the kitchens at Redwall if he wanted, but for some reason, he's content to cook for us humble scouts. Not that I'm complaining. You'll be checking in with him after you've collected everything for tonight's suit. That's the main tent. It's sort of like our very own Great Hall. We use it mostly for hosting guests from neighbouring scout groups. We even have little shoe-sized chairs for when members of the Gaussum come to visit. Well, that concludes our tour of Hilltop Camp. Oh, and if you ever come across an odd pile of flat stones, just take a gander through your weigh glass. There may be something interesting to see you wouldn't have otherwise noticed. Now, Liam, you've got a soup to cook. Here, Rootsworth gave me this recipe for you to follow. First, you'll need to collect 3 beets from the garden. Beets, not radishes. Your sniffer can tell you the difference. Second, you'll need a cob of corn, a potato, and an onion, all which you'll find over at the obstacle course. And lastly, a wheel of cheese. Apparently, Freebie's got it over by his tent.
Ah, Freebie. Always with his cheese.
Part of initiation night is making the newest scout run around on a wild goose chase. But don't worry, it's all in good fun. Now, you better get collecting.
Aren't you coming with?
Actually, I've got some scout business to attend to, so you'll have to finish preparing the soup on your own. If there's anything you want to talk about before I go, be sure to ask me now.
Before you go, Soph.
What's on your mind? Have a good night, my love.
I see the sweet aroma of jam caught your nose. Well, if you happen to spot any more of those little wicker baskets of jam around, be sure to grab it. We've got a bit of a contest going on with the other Scout Corps.
A juicy red beet, fresh from the garden. This beet is a bit pale, but it should do. A juicy red beet, fresh from the garden. That's all I needed from the garden. Let's see, what's next?
Have you not any work to do?
Could you use some help?
No. Why do you think I need help? I can do this job just as well as any beast here. I don't see you offering to help any of them.
No, I didn't mean anything by it.
Of course not. And I'm sorry for nipping.
Oh, a sharp tongue. You? Never. Oh, honestly, I doubt much of anything could dampen my mood tonight.
Of course. This isn't just initiation for you. It's the start of your new life, isn't it? I'd almost forgotten that. Sophia is a wonderful mouse, Liam. I mean, initiate. And a talented scout. You be sure to tell her I said as much, won't you?
Of course I will. The very moment I've caught her ire, I need a quick compliment to ease the strain. You know she speaks very fondly of you. She says you were a great ally in her own initiation.
That I was. And as it should be. Two of us need to stick together, you know.
Oh my.
Are you sure that's what happened?
Got it. That wasn't so hard. Now then, what's left? I promised myself I wouldn't cry. Ah, potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a soup. Mama corn, baby corn. Huh, but where's popcorn? Looks like that's all I need from the obstacle course. Where to now? Yes, I've got everything. I better go check in with Rootsworth. I'm positively famished.
Ah, here's our initiate now. Glad you finally made it.
Finally indeed. The moon's full up and we haven't even started the soup.
It took a bit to track down each ingredient. But here they are.
My. Then you've already finished your gathering. And here I thought you were dawdling about.
A few radishes had been mistakenly pulled from the garden, but with the help of Rootsworth and a dollop of rosemary, our young scout delivered a fine soup for the feast.
Is that your soup? You can still mix it up a bit more right now, but once the lid goes on top, you'll be done, and live or die with the consequences.
Yes, I think that's it. What do you think?
I think any meal is better than an empty stomach, and that no mouse is a master overnight. You gave it your best, and that's the point.
Ah, would you smell that? Simply scrumptious. Well, you must be finished with your errands for this evening. Feel free to explore and socialize to your heart's content. When you're quite ready, ring the dinner bell, and we'll begin the festivities.
As Liam walked away from the cauldron, he found himself thinking of the way his large and poor family shared a meal. There were many days that his mother had need to stretch her meager supplies with wild rice or woodland roots, but somehow she always managed. With all the fanfare Rootsworth could muster, a wondrous feast of quince pie, port-basted mushrooms, and a chutney of wild carrots and beets were served alongside the soup. Piles of barley toast and a stout red cheese, warmed hayberry cordial and chilled mint tea wet all their tongues and lifted their spirits. Last but not least was a lofty steamed pudding soaked in pear brandy and set aflame for quite dramatic effect. This was Mr. Coyle's fiery ring of devastation, a fitting, if dramatic, name. Liam laughed loud and sang long and was thanked generously for his, shall we say, questionable stew. But for all the mirth, Liam was troubled at Sophia's absence.
My friends and fellow scouts, tonight we celebrate a new member of our brotherhood.
Sisterhood!
Yes, well, our family all the same. We've all admired your hard work, loyalty, and steadfast spirit. Well done. You entered this camp a nameless initiate. But now, after demonstrating your skill, we give you a new name, known only to yourself and your fellow scouts.
3 cheers for Liam Riverhouse. 3 cheers for Eagle Eye.
Huzzah! 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 Stand now, scouts, and be sober in heart and in mind. Be without fear, malice, or cruelty. Be true to your word, your heart, and your fellow scouts. Be without guile, and speak the truth at all times, kindly if possible, directly in need. Love Lilygrove, the land, and safeguard any who sojourn in her borders. This is your oath, and we, your witnesses, share it with you.
Completing the oath, Captain Robin watched warmly as Liam's fellow scout shook his paw in congratulations, but he was clearly thinking of other things. Where was his dear Sophia? Gently, Robin led Liam to the platform's edge, presented him with this very wayglass, and bade him look toward the sexton's field. Through the magnifying lens, he saw his beloved, finishing the preparations for an even larger party that only awaited for his imminent arrival. But alas, the party was never to happen. Not that night, not ever. Seen through the glass, a menacing shape stepped out of the shadows. It was a ragged and filthy rat, dressed in strange garb, and wielding a wicked cutlass. Every beast ran as another rat stepped into the firelight, and then another. Suddenly, Sophia was lunging forward with a fiery brand, catching the villain full on the snout and knocking it to the ground. Liam was frozen in shock when Robin grabbed him by the shoulders and spoke most urgently.
I wish we had more time, but what you do this very moment is what makes you a scout. You have everything you need for this mission. Skills, tools, training.
But most of all, you have courage. I bid you make haste to our village. Go to the lighthouse and fire the beacon. Be swift but silent, as you must not alert the raiders to our plan. Lend aid where you can, but you must not be captured. I will ready the militia and join you shortly. Every moment counts. Go now, swiftly!
Rather much, isn't it? They're just rats. Those bandits have tried to get in here dozens of times.
William, there you are quite wrong. Redwall has been captured before. Even the great fortress of Salamanderstron has been captured by vermin. We should never underestimate the villains who seek our enslavement. It surely leads to defeat. But more importantly, Lilygrove is no fortress. It's a small village with no wall and few warriors. And these were not scattered brigands, but vicious sea rats pirating under the banner of Clooney, the Scourge. Heart-pounding, the newish scout raced toward the besieged town on a mission to light the beacon atop the decrepit old lighthouse that hadn't burned in ages. Every moment mattered, but remaining undiscovered mattered even more.
This mountain town's so small and fragile, easy to squash. Easy to burn. Wait, you hear something?
There's something weird in my sniffer. I swears it.
You're just imagining it.
No, for reals. All this shrubbery makes me nervous. I can't see through them, and all the smells get all caught up in the branches.
What is that? Church bells?
Let me have a look-sees. You hear that? Sounds like twinkle bells.
Twinkle bells?
Don't care what refrain is the name of. I can see shows comes down his color. What quality is that? Jumps down 5 feet up to 2 Mauser. But I say he brings Easy's neck and that wrapped up then he went near his whisker. No way I'm working with you to be. But my stuff right here is dumped outside. All the way until the mother rat. Here we are. Come down to the house in that inch. This is exciting. It's taking on a mess. Watch out for mousers, Scum Scout says. At least that's what I think he says. Sort of hard to tell. But don't